Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I am Tiffany Dooley, your host. I am so happy to have a good friend of mine. We grew up together from elementary school all the way to high school. Aaron Grooves, but I know him as Aaron Williams. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Hello,
so
everyone. Hello, Tiffany. Thank you for having me.
so I am so happy to have him because I remember when I was in high school, I was like, Aaron's gonna blow up because I remember he was on the what was it last when you was in high school? You playing the Marimba, is it called?
Yeah, Marimba.
Yes. And you impressed me so much, and all the other students in the band. And I was just like, man, he's gonna grow up. I just knew it. I just knew it. And I'm glad to have you as a guest, and I'm glad that you can share your tips and techniques with our young individuals because we are a 501c3 organization trying to help the underserved youth with free tutoring services as well as a workshop, professional development workshops, and many other things. So we are honored to have Aaron Bruce with us. And please introduce yourself, Aaron.
Yeah. Okay, first, just make sure you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, so I'm Aaron. I go by Aaron Grooves on social media, YouTube and Instagram, et cetera, et cetera. And I basically I would call myself a musician. That's definitely my profession, but I'm also an educator. And I'm just a lover of life and exploration. And I love curiosity and, those stereotypical things that you hear from educators, like be a lifelong learner. I mean, that actually is me. Every single day I'm getting into something new. And it's the same way in my musical world too. So I'm always learning new instruments or finding new ways to make music. And I like sharing those things, the things that I discover, and for myself and also for my students. I like sharing those things with other people. So whether that's expressing myself through my own performances, or whether that's helping someone else to have an epiphany or understanding something and helping them with their own self-expression. So for me, composing music, performing music, teaching music are all part of the same kind of bag.
Well, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. So, first question of the evening: what strengths do you have that you believe make you a great musician, and what is the science behind being a musician?
Those are excellent questions. And I'll take the first one first and the second one second. So the first one, what strengths do I have? I think that my strengths, the biggest one is definitely curiosity, but that's not the only one. There's a famous quote from Albert Einstein where he says something about, I don't remember exactly the quote, but it's something about, I'm not particularly smart or intelligent or a genius. I'm just passionately curious. So I feel like curiosity is kind of the kernel of all intelligence. So that's kind of my description for myself. That's the way I view myself when it comes to making music. So like you said, in high school, I was hooked on the marimba. I love the marimba, all percussion. Ever since 6th grade, I started the snare drum. 2 months later, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. And then in high school, it was marimba, 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 and it still is marimba. Marimba is still my number one love. But after a while, I discovered that just making music on anything was equally satisfying. So I got into drum set a lot in college. I got into drum lines and drum corps. I got into making music with tap dancing. I got really deep into piano. I've been pursuing piano a lot more the last few years, trying to just improve my skill in that area. I got into composition and just making music on the fly and improvising with other musicians. I've got into all kinds of things. I have a ukulele over there. I have a flute over here that I play. I have a bass guitar over there. I have a drum set over there. I have an upright bass that I just got last summer. I'm super excited to start diving into that. And yeah, just so many things. Everything that you can do to make music. I see someone do it and I'm enthralled. I'm like, I want to do that. So curiosity for sure. The other really big thing, and this is one thing that I preach to my students, is your ability to, there really are no shortcuts in terms of getting good, but there are ways to practice efficiently. So I feel like the way my brain works, I can find efficient ways to learn something. And of course, it's a lot of trial and error and a lot of learning from mentors and coaches and guides. But these days, I learn very quickly because I know how my brain works. And I know how the human brain learns information from teaching thousands of other human beings. So that's definitely a huge advantage that I have now, is that I know how to learn, how to set up a practice routine, and how to maximize my time when I'm learning new things, not just music, but learning anything. So those are the two main things: curiosity, efficient practice, and yeah, I guess that would be it. The other strength that I think of, I don't know if it counts as a strength because it's something that everyone acquires after they've been doing it for a while. You learn from your past experience. So at this point, I've done so much music that all of the lessons that I've learned and all of the mistakes that I've made and all of those challenges and frustrations, they're kind of ways for me to avoid that happening again. And that's kind of a strength that I pull from. And the reason I bring that out is because I remember a few years ago, I had this epiphany. I was teaching fourth graders recorder, which I have a recorder around here somewhere, probably sitting up there on my desk. And this one kid, they tried to play this thing. Their first try, they were unsuccessful, and they said, "I can't play recorder, I give up." I was like, what do you mean? You just tried it for the first time. Of course you're not going to be right. And then it hit me that when you're that little, and I think I used to feel this way too, I didn't understand that I'm not just going to sound great on the first try. Because to most people, it looks like I just pick up an instrument and just like, oh, wow, you're so talented. But I didn't understand when I was really little that it's going to take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours to get to that point. And my fourth grade student didn't get that either. They thought that, oh, everyone just picks up the recorder and they're automatically good. And then they weren't good. So they thought, oh, they just can't play recorder. So there's just the idea that you have to practice to get better. That is something that a lot of people don't understand. So just all those little things that I've learned from, they're definitely a strength because it helps me to avoid frustration and to be able to troubleshoot and be able to get over any hurdles that I've come across. Okay, there's 3 strengths. I'm sorry, I talk a lot. I'm an educator. Stop me anytime.
No, you're fine. You're fine. And yes, and practice does make perfect. And I think because of band like yourself, I have admired the attribute of being disciplined through practice and how to troubleshoot to make to make things better, or in designing, because I have an engineering degree, so to make things, precision is key. So it's a key. It's a skill set, and I think it really came from being part involved over the years, like yourself and other activities that I participated over the years. So I agree on that one. So what is the science of being a musician?
Yeah, the science, I love the science of it, and I geek out on this stuff all the time because there's a couple of different types of science. Lately, I've been involved in some comment sections on some YouTube videos from some really great musicians and some YouTube music theorists. And there's a lot of misconceptions about how music theory works. People think that they learn that this is C, and this is D, and E, F, F sharp, G, et cetera, and you hear something, you call it that, that's the 1 chord, that's the 4 chord, that's an 8th note, that's a quarter note. And people don't realize that these things are really arbitrary. The fact that we call this C doesn't mean anything. It only means something because we call it C. And because I teach kids all the time, I'm constantly reminded that the fact that we call this C doesn't necessarily mean that this is how music works. It means that this is totally arbitrary assignment. So the science behind music, the things that every musician really needs are to have ears that you can tell what you're hearing and that you can express what you hear in your head. So if I hear something in my head and I want to play it, I need to know what I'm hearing in my head. And that's where the science of being a musician comes in. Not just the science of music, but the science of being a musician. So if I hear something in my head like, da 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 da, I know that that's going to be C, D, E, F, E, D, C. And that comes from lots and lots of practice. You get used to these patterns. And you can hear more and more complicated things. So I may hear C, E, G, B flat. And I hear the entire chord in my head. Or I'll look at a piece of sheet music. Take something like this random sight reading book that I have. And I'll see something in here like, I see this G here. And I can see G, E, C, E. So I'll know what the music is going to sound like before I ever play it. And that's the kind of thing that used to confuse me when I was little, when I found out that Beethoven was deaf, but he wrote music. How can you write music without knowing what it's going to sound like? Well, he did know what it was going to sound like because he could hear music when he was younger. So he acclimated himself. He understood the relationships between the pitches. He understood rhythm. And when he lost his hearing and his hearing was like 90% gone, he wouldn't hear the instruments he was playing, but he would know what they were going to sound like. He could write music on the page because he already knew what the sounds were going to be. And that's a really high level of music making. So the science of being a musician is knowing what you hear, also hearing what you know, and being able to sing what you know. So just for, if there's anyone out there who's interested in becoming a better musician, I would say work on your ear training, work on speaking the language of music in terms of an improvisational way. So a kid or a baby, let's take a baby who doesn't speak English at all yet. They don't tell the kid, read this book and then learn to speak, right? Or then say, I'm going to teach you the theory of how words work and the theory of letters. People are talking to the kid constantly. Goo goo gaga, baby, say mama, say daddy. Can you say Uncle Aaron? This is what I was saying to my niece yesterday. So all of these things, we're talking. If you want to be a good musician, you have to speak the language of music all the time. You need to have someone coming up to you and say, and then point to you and let you try it. And you mess up and they're like, okay, we'll try this. And then you may mess up on that. They're like, okay, just this one. And that's like saying ma, ma. Okay, now say mama. And they get that one step at a time. And eventually you have all of this vocabulary and then you're not confused. You just know what it is. So I'm all about teaching people to speak the language of music now. And then when you learn to read it and write it, you already know what it sounds like. So it's way easier to learn to become literate in something that you can already speak. So music works exactly the same way. It's literally a language. It has grammar, rules, everything. It has dialects, it has vocabulary. It's phenomenal. Okay, sorry. I'm going to keep apologizing because I can literally talk forever. Feel free to jump in at any moment.
No, you are so fine. You're so fine. And that's a good illustration and terminology that how you described it, because I have never thought in a million years that that's what we were typically doing when you're a musician. You're pretty much training, understanding how to pretty much learn the literacy of music, how to hear it, how to train your hearing of each note. I did not know that. You know,
Absolutely.
And your explanation was wonderful, wonderful.
And there's one other really interesting facet of this idea that you'll get right away. There are some people that can speak English without understanding a single word of it. And I could teach you the language, the phonetics for a language, and you could literally read a pamphlet or a novel even in a language that you didn't understand a single word that you said. And there are lots of musicians who read music all the time that don't actually speak the language of music. So it happens in the same way. But I mean, if you really want to enjoy music and be able to express and communicate, have a conversation with your friends, you can't just read and follow phonetic rules, right? You need to understand what you're saying. Have some vocabulary. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So how many instruments can you play? We already described. Well, which one is your favorite?
Yes, I started trying to count when I saw your question. And I was thinking, I have no idea. I've tried to count and I never can count. Partly because I'm a percussionist and the world of percussion is so expensive. Anything you can hit, tap, or shake is percussion. So this is percussion. I mean, my mouse for my laptop, this is a percussion instrument now. So it's kind of cheating, but there are different techniques for all those percussion instruments, the congas and the bongos and the güiro or whatever it is. They all have different techniques. So, let's see. Wait, what was the second part of that question?
And which one is your favorite?
Which one is your favorite? I said marimba. That's like if I was on a deserted island and I had to choose one, I would choose a marimba.
Okay.
But maybe a piano. Piano is fascinating because you can be the bass, the chords, the melody. You have 10 fingers rather than just 2 or 4 mallets. Yeah. So yeah, it's between the marimba and the piano. For sure.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm a substitute teacher in my interim of being an engineer, and I was teaching a music class, and the music class that was a percussionist instrument. I didn't even know that.
Yes, because it has hammers. When you push the key, the hammer hits the string.
Oh, okay.
So percussion just means striking. So since the hammer's striking the string, it's technically a percussion instrument.
Okay.
So percussion keyboard instrument. Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
I didn't learn that either until I was much older. I was like, what? My entire life has been a lie. What's your favorite instrument, though?
My favorite instrument, well, of course, when I was younger, I used to play the clarinet as well as the piano. Hold on. But my favorite one, I would say, is the piano. I love the piano. I love the piano. Yeah. And I stopped playing because I went to college. I stopped playing.
Oh.
And but my mom gets mad at me if she's watching this. She probably just.
I remember you playing the piano when we were little. I don't remember seeing you playing the piano, but I remember that you took piano.
Yes, I took piano lessons. I never played for the school. I played, more classical musics. And then I did like recitals and stuff like that, but I never played for the school. And my mom, my piano teacher, was like, well, you're so good, you can start teaching people. And I was pretty good. And so everybody was like, you never lose, you get back on, you can practice and get, back to the piano. Yep. And I think I probably would pick it back up after my lifetime.
You should pick it back up.
Yeah, I definitely will pick it up.
Yeah. Let me know if you want some motivation.
Yes, please, Aaron. Please.
I would offer you lessons, but you probably need to give me lessons. So.
Please, Aaron. Please. I probably need to pick it back up. And be my mom. She would probably be happy about that too.
Do it.
On piano lessons, they used to stop. I'm like, I'm supposed to school. I'm sorry. I should have minded this music. Kept up with
do
it. All right. So, how do you describe the music that you typically create?
That's a fantastic question. I describe it as high information music. That's kind of the label that I heard. I don't remember where I first heard that label, but just music that has a lot of information happening. So lots of rhythms, lots of tonalities, lots of notes. Not necessarily fast and virtuosic all the time, but there's a lot of information there. So you can contrast high information with something that's low information, like maybe there's only 2 chords. Or a typical pop song, like the standard 1 6 6 2 2 5 5 progression. Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Got that progression. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. So, and I would hear things like, oh, chicory. I've been so into chicory lately, like Spain. Famous pieces. So all this stuff going on. And it has all the cool suspensions and the key changes. Oh, Stevie Wonder. That's some high information music there.
Yes,
beautiful music. I don't remember what's that song? Singing your love.
Which one you trying to play?
When a dozen roses, make sure that she knows it.
Oh wow!
From your heart. Do you know that one?
Oh yes,
yeah.
I know you're talking about. I'm drawing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Stevie Wonder, Chicory, and also classical music. Like Mozart. Yeah.
Yes.
Or Beethoven. Or Chopin. When I discovered Chopin, I was like, "What is this?" Did you ever play any Chopin? I don't know how far you went into
played Chopin.
piano rep.
I played Mozart and Beethoven a lot.
Yeah, there's one piece that's Chopin. I heard this. Oh, my mother was in community college while I was in like middle school or high school, and she had this music appreciation course, and they sent her this cassette tape that these classical songs, and I heard this one, and I was like, what? Because the left hand is doing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. It's in triplets, and then the right hand comes with 16 notes. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 3. So it's 3 and 4 at the same time with both hands, and they're separate. And that piece, I had to learn that.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
All that fun noodly stuff, they're just mentally thrilling for me.
Yes, and that sounds, okay, so if anyone knows about 3s and 4s and you playing them simultaneously, it's like a difficult piece to play.
Yeah, and that's the reason why when I heard it, Yeah, just hearing it, I was like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
So I remember sitting down with the metronome, like, so I have the 3 and the 4, like really focusing on the subdivisions, make sure everything lines up. And then over time, I get it. Wait, sorry, I'm not even getting it right. I don't remember. There it is. Oh, something like that. Yeah, Chopin. He's
the
crazy.
difficulty level on the 3s and 4s and trying to play in science piece it's not easy. It is not
Yeah,
easy.
and that goes back to the science of rhythm.
Yes.
And that's the reason why math is so important. So I would literally take a pencil and paper and say, well, this hand needs to be 3, this hand needs to be 4. 3 and 4 have the least common multiple of 12. So let me make 12 grids and see where the 3 should line up and where the 4s line up. And then like chat, 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 go, chat. And then you get that, and you get used to that 3 against 4 feel, or 2 against 3, or 4 against 5. There's all these weird things that they all feel like some version of this, and then switching hands. Yeah, so that's the science of music there.
Yes, it is. Oh man. We can go on and on. Okay, go on.
Yeah,
and
let
on.
me know anytime you want to geek out on that stuff.
And I will definitely be calling you, Aaron. Definitely be calling you. So you should be on and say, where are you going to pick up the piano with me? And I ask you some questions. All right. So what is your creative purpose like? What is your creative purpose process like? I'm sorry.
My creative process, it varies, but these days, I would say for the last few years, I've been doing a lot of composing away from the piano. And there's 2 things that I've been working on for the last couple of years. One is the idea, like I mentioned with Beethoven, being able to hear the music in your head. And the other idea is being able to improvise. So, wait, we're still live, right? Okay, Tiffany just disappeared. But I think I know why. It's because after this, we're going into demonstration. Yes, I've got the notes. I remember. Okay, so let's see. Creative process. So what I might do is if I'm doing something original, I might hear something in my head and I'll try to see if I can figure out what I'm hearing in my head. And I'm sure many of you have moments where you hear a song in your head and like, oh, this would be so dope. And then I would do that and say, okay, now can I take that out of my brain and get it into the piano or into the computer or into the marimba or whatever it is. So we could experiment with something like that right now. I'm going to create something on the spot. So I'm going to try to sing it, and then I'm going to try to play it. And this piece, just to be a little more interesting, I'm going to make it not in 4 beats per measure. 4 beats is most music in America is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's put this in something like 3. 3 is not terribly complicated, but it's a little more interesting. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe there, 1. Okay, I'm going to go with 3 just for fun. So right now, I've decided the time signature. I know it's going to be 3. And now I want to come up with a fun melody. What kind of a mood am I in? I hear an airplane outside. I can hear my computer fans going off. I hear a car driving down the street. I hear technology everywhere. Just getting the sound check before this. Okay, I'm thinking technology, which definitely lends itself to high information music. So 1, 2, 3, something kind of jarring maybe for technology. It has to be something rhythmic. So let's see. Let's choose a key. Can I hear something in my head and find the key? This is something I've been working on with my ear training. Okay, how about da? Is that an E? Yes, E. I got it. I got one. So practicing your ear training really pays off, people. All right, so we got E, and I want it to be like an E kind of, not major, but not minor, something more technological that doesn't really have a common chord tonal center. Maybe there. Am I doing okay? Am I going over time?
No, you're fine. You're fine. I had to readjust. Okay. I was off there, so I had to bring you back in. I had to bring myself back in.
Okay, no problem. Ooh, we could use an augmented scale. So that one has no whole step, no half steps, so it's really kind of spacey. Okay, I think I like that pattern. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That works. Okay, I found a cool pattern. It doesn't have any half steps. It's kind of weird. It's kind of disorienting, and it's in 3. And it can be simplified. So if someone heard this, they may think it's going to be a beautiful song. And then they hear this. What is it? What was I doing? Ooh. Now I gave myself something that's too challenging, so I should have done this. This is a bad live example. All right, here we got the G sharp, F sharp, E, G sharp, F sharp, E, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C, A sharp. Ooh. Okay, I'm just going to stop it there. One time, run down, done. Okay, how does that work? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's enough. So that's going to be our intro, and then we're just going to go into event. Ooh, 3 against 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that's a fun groove. Everyone's like, Aaron, this doesn't sound good. To me, this is so much fun. Now, can I play that with the left hand? Ah! Okay, now the next thing I would do is add some kind of rhythm. So, and I wish I had time to hook up my loop station because I could add in some drums, some talking drum, and some cowbell and some shaker, then have a little kind of a backdrop to do that over. Okay, there's my creative process. But it's the same thing that I used for, I'm just going to move on. That was a very crazy, chaotic example of my creative process. But that was fun for me. Hopefully it was entertaining for you. So,
It was, Aaron.
I did the same thing. Okay,
yes,
great. I can hear you. Thank you. So what I might do though is I would take that to make it more musical and more conversational. We have grammar in music, so we may take an idea, repeat it so the audience gets a little more familiar, and then we change it so they don't get too bored, and then we repeat it again. So that A structure, which we know is song form, is one of the most common forms in all of music. And it's also the basis for even sonata form, which they used in Mozart and Beethoven's day. So it was 2 A's, and then I had this. And I'd probably put a different melody. So I'd workshop a melody to come up over that sounds interesting. And then I'd probably change the key center. So here I'm in E whole tone. I could change it up a half step. And everything's just shifted all of a sudden. And when I go back, so now you hear these variations and the color of everything. So I would have some fun with that. And I'll use one other example so I can actually perform kind of something. About a year and a half ago, a little less, I was working on music for an animation with this YouTube animator that has like 14 million subscribers, something insane. But he does a lot of stick figure animations, and his stick figures can play Minecraft, and they live inside of his computer. Some of you have probably seen some of these at some point. So I came up with the music for the episode where they discover how to make music inside of Minecraft. So I was using all of these note block Minecraft sounds to create this music. And what I did was literally sit back and think and just let this melody come to me, which is kind of inspired from kind of the vibe that I got from Mario Paint, if you remember that game. It had this really nice music just happening in the background. I don't remember what key was in. Wow, I have to work on that. That's a nice song. So I took that idea of just that really laid back melody, and I came up with this this melody in my mental imagination. There it is. If I can remember it. There it is. And then I went to a few other places. And there was one day I had writer's block. So I literally was sitting there in front of the computer. I'm messaging the animator back like, man, I have this one last section. I'm just having writer's block and it's driving me crazy. And I walked out of my apartment, just walked around the block. Just took some time, let my brain decompose, decompress. And by the time I got back around the block, I had this really cool kind of symphony going on in my head. I was like, this is a nice starting point. And I got really inspired. I came back in and finished the entire thing like right on that day. So this is just a reminder that writer's block happens to all of us. And there are lots of tools to get over that. But, oh yeah, maybe I'll send a link or some way that you guys can find that particular animation that I'm talking about. Because the music in it is a lot of fun. And it's family friendly, yes. I guess I should perform something for you guys. Is that the idea?
Yeah, if you want to.
If I want to, all right. Should I perform something original, or does it matter if it's something that is, like, do you have to worry about copyright clearances or anything like that?
We might have to. If it's copyright clearances, but if it's something original that you made that's
okay,
that you can clear. Because we don't want this to be a Facebook blocked.
Right. Okay, so I've been thinking a lot about Chick Corea, for any of you who've heard about him. He's one of the greatest jazz pianists, and he just passed away in January. And he was one of my biggest inspirations. So when I was in high school and I started finally trying to learn jazz piano, I think it was my band director who said, listen to Chick Corea. And I listened to his music, and he has this band called the Chick Corea Electric Band. And it's exactly all the stuff I've been talking about. High information music, crazy rhythms, things that are just coming out of nowhere, beautiful chord changes. He paints these amazing mental or aural pictures, I guess. So he passed away recently, and it devastated me. So I've been just geeking out on his music, and I have a piece that I wrote kind of in tribute to him. And maybe I can share a little bit of that one. And I'll share a little bit of one of the first pieces I learned from Chick Corea. I learned on the xylophone, and it was called Spain. goes to a few other sections. And Al Jarreau, the great jazz vocalist, wrote lyrics to it. I will attempt to sing some of them. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm going to skip to the bridge. No, I'm not. I can remember the rain in December, the leaves of brown on the ground. In Spain, I did love and adore you. The bright lights and sounds filled our joint stay, and forever the nights were the heat of yearning. I can recall the desire, every reverie is on fire, and I get a picture of all of yesterdays. Yesterday, I can say, I get a kick every time they play. That's me again. See you next to me. I see moments of history. Your eyes meet mine, and they dance to that melody, and we'll meet again, as if dreaming. The sounds of our hearts beat like castanets, and forever we'll know their meaning. I can recall my desire, every reverie is on fire, and I get a picture of all yesterdays. Yesterday, I can say, I get a kick every time they play. That's Spain. I know that one won't get claimed because I use it in a few YouTube videos now and on a few Facebook Lives, and they don't care about that stuff, sadly.
Well, you did a good job, Aaron. Good job. All right, so hold on, let me come back on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of ranting, but I can play more. I can do some classical. I can play a couple of jazz things. I can do something original. I have options.
Well, whatever you want to play.
Just guide me however you like.
Whatever you wanted to play. So you can play, we have 20 more minutes before we end. So we got 2 more questions. So maybe another 5 more minutes of demonstration, and then we go to our last 2 questions.
Okay, yeah. And just so I know, are there any questions coming from like an audience or anything like that?
Let's see.
We don't have to worry about that, or?
I don't
see. If so, then I'll just make sure I leave some space for it.
I don't see any questions yet.
Okay, awesome.
Yep, I don't see any questions yet.
Okay, then and was my keyboard loud enough? Could you hear it okay?
At the very end, it started to fade away a little bit.
Okay, cause I have no idea how loud I am. There's no monitoring on this thing.
Yeah,
so I really hope that it's clear.
I don't even know how loud I am. I can hear you now.
Can you hear this?
That's a little too soft. I can hear that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, here's a question. Was my voice much louder than the piano, or were they about the same?
Your voice was a little bit louder than the piano.
Oh, okay. I think I know what's going on then. I think the keyboard, I have it set up to go straight through my interface, but I don't think that's picking up. I think you're just getting the keyboard sounds that's coming through the speaker.
Okay.
I think that's what's happening. So maybe for the next one, I'll just turn that volume up a little bit.
Okay.
And that should help. Yeah. Aw. Technology. It just makes me feel all disoriented, like. Okay, I'm turning this back up then. Is that louder?
It's loud now.
Okay. All right, let's have a little more fun.
Okay, I'll put you back at the solo level.
Okay. I guess I can play maybe play a little bit of classical.
Okay. Okay.
No, you can play a little classical. Okay, go for it.
No, I don't want to play you. No, Aaron. Aaron, no.
It's okay. We're all figuring it out. We have patience.
Patience.
Is that volume okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Oh, you know what? I will play one of my favorite jazz standards, super jazz standard. It's called Blue Bossa. But I remember hearing a recording of a pianist playing this with some crazy left hand action going on. This kind of Afro-Cuban montuno pattern over the melody at the same time. And that's something I've been working on for a while. And I'm not anywhere near on that level, but I can get through it now, and I'm excited to just share that with more people. So I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with that. It's called Blue Bossa. Improvise.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
That was something.
Yes, it was good. Oh, my
A couple of fun moments in there.
You're really good, Aaron. Oh, my goodness. I was enjoying it. I was like, okay, we got 14 minutes left. He's doing a really good job. Oh, my God. I really enjoy your demonstrations. I really did. That was really, really good.
Thank you.
Wow. So where can we find your music?
Fantastic question. You can find my music on my YouTube channel, which is just Aaron Grooves. And you can find my music on Bandcamp, which I think is aarongrooves.bandcamp.com or bandcamp.com.aaron. I don't even know.
Okay, but, so we'll have the link in our in the description.
Search for Aaron Grooves. You'll find me. I'm also working on I don't know why I've been so reluctant to put as many things out as I should be, because I don't know, I can just sit in my little musical laboratory and just make fun forever, but not really focus on releasing things, which is, you know what I mean? So I've been trying to get myself more disciplined about releasing things. So I have a couple of albums. One of them is ready. I just need to finish the details and the album artwork. And then that'll be on iTunes and Spotify and stuff. And then later this year, I'm actually going to be having I'm getting my own 5-octave marimba. So I've talked about marimba and my love for marimba, but they are expensive. They're the big wooden instruments. I mean, the wooden barred instruments with the long tube sticking out the bottom. Yes. For those who aren't familiar with the marimba. Mm-hmm. And that's Marimba, Marimba. If you search Mario on marimba, you'll find me because I have a video of myself playing the Mario theme on marimba, which was my first viral video. And I'm getting my own marimba finally, and I'm going to be putting out a ton more music and content with that. I'm so excited. I'm working with one of my favorite companies, Malitech. They make marimbas, and I have a collaboration with them now. So I'm super pumped up about. So hopefully in a couple of months, you'll see a lot more marimba music coming out from me.
Okay, good. Congratulations on the collaboration. Congratulations.
Yeah. Very exciting.
I'm excited too. Oh my goodness.
Like literally 20 years, I've been like, I need my own marimba. Finally, I'm getting one.
And you're getting it. Well, congratulations on the collaboration and the new marimba. Okay, so what is the next one? The new marimba and collaboration.
Yeah, the other things that are new are that I am, okay, I just heard a little echo. It's gone now. Other things that are new for me, let's see, the marimba, the collaboration. Oh, I am doing a lot more composing now. And I'm trying to bring some of my compositional ideas to fruition. So I'm collaborating with other musicians, and I'm trying to create my own version of what I would want to hear. Kind of like, everyone's going to already know this, so it doesn't matter if I say it. Kind of like if I took the Chick Corea Electric Band and replaced Chick Corea with me and a marimba. That's kind of like that's kind of like my dream band. So I'm working on a lot of that music, and also going to be taking some of Chick Corea's music and covering some of that in this band too. There's a lot of really nice chord progressions, and it's really challenging to play that stuff, and it's just so much fun. And my younger brother is a phenomenal drummer, and I don't even mind telling people that I'm planning to use him because I'm going to use him. He's going to play on my album. So I've been talking about him like,
is that Charles?
We need to make some music together. Yeah, you know Charles.
Yeah, Charles. Okay.
Yeah. I went away when I went away to college after we graduated high school. I came back to visit, and he was just like crazy good. He just been playing drums all day, every day. That was his life, and he got so good at the drums.
Wow.
So and of course he has his, so he's a father now. He has his life and all that stuff, but he's still such a good drummer. I'm like, dude, we need to make this happen.
Yes.
So I was just visiting him this weekend, and he's setting up a lot of really cool stuff, and he has his like studio going now, and we've been talking about music, so I'm really pumped up about that. So it's going to be the marimba, it's going to be some of the band stuff, a lot of more original compositions. I'm doing a lot more composing for my YouTube channel, going to be making more videos on that. And hopefully my passion for YouTube doesn't die out. And I'm only saying this, I don't like to bring negative energy anywhere, but I've become more aware of just some of the things that are happening with corporate censorship and that kind of thing. And it's affecting YouTube as well. So now I'm like, I don't know if I actually want to be on YouTube. But at the same time, it still is one of the most popular platforms, and it's still growing now. So I'm trying to figure that all out. So just FYI, if you don't see me on YouTube as much, it's probably because I'm still trying to figure that out. But I have no intention of leaving YouTube anytime soon. Like, it's still a phenomenal platform. And I'm working on content for YouTube as we speak. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Aaron, for being my guest and teaching us the science behind being a musician. I hope we can have you again in the near future after you get everything situated. And I'm happy that you came tonight and coming on live.
I can't thank you enough for having me and for this opportunity to just share with people. And anybody who sees this, hello, audience. It's a pleasure. So we can't wait to see you in person someday in a real venue. It's going to be phenomenal. Yeah. Oh, and also, I just want to say, let me know if you ever need someone to help, like with music tutoring or anything else, because I used to also teach math and English and science and all that kind of stuff. And I used to teach in middle school for a while, and I used to do subbing in high schools and middle schools. And yeah, it was all so much fun. So
Okay,
Yeah.
I will definitely put you down because we are ramping up. And matter of fact, as we end the evening, we are ramping up. We have been selected, Left Brains, to partner with, I can't say the company name. We're trying to get the details together. But also, Ingalls Elementary School has asked us to help them out as well. So we're ramping up really fast, really quickly. So if you can volunteer, if you know, if you're a part of any type of administration team, I need you. I need help. I need help. Even if it's viral or local here in Kansas City, we need your help. Okay. And also, we are having a raffle. I did say that the deadline is tonight, but I have extended to the April 13th because I was supposed to announce the winner on April 13th. So I was like, go ahead, extend it to April 13th as well. So if you're willing to help us out, because we are ramping up, we're trying to get staff on and trying to help the employment rates go up because my intentions are to help hire as well. So just and to bring to help push our mission to help the underserved youth. So please stay connected, stay tuned. Our next guest is George White, who will be talking about the science behind real estate investments. And hope to talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks again.
Bye.
I was jamming to that.
We're still live, Aaron, so I can't let you go. I'll call you, okay?
All right, thanks again.
Bye.
Later.